Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Joey. UFC 266 has its official main event and its co-main event. I already talked about Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler 2, which will also be on the card, and it will probably be the featured fight on the card. I said in the last video that it was not officially the co-main event, and I read that on ESPN, and I thought that was a little weird, but now we know why, because UFC 266 is getting two title fights atop the card. One that I'm really excited for. The other that I'm kind of on. It's not something I'm really looking forward to or was anticipating at all. I knew it was going to happen, but it's not something that I was excited for at all. And I think a lot of you guys will feel the same as I do. It's just an okay fight, and I'm happy to get an extra title fight on the card, but it is what it is. It could never headline any pay-per-views. But anyway, the main event, the one that I'm really looking forward to of UFC 266 is Alexander Volkanovski versus Brian Ortega. And I'm super excited. The featherweight champion Volkanovski coming in after his two controversial wins over Max Holloway. A lot of people, specifically that second fight, thought Alexander Volkanovski lost to Max Holloway. Now, this fight against Brian Ortega was originally scheduled for March, the Stipe Miocic versus Francis Ngannou card. Volkanovski pulled out the week before the fight. A lot of people were disappointed, myself included. And we thought the fight was going to be, rescheduled relatively quickly. That's what the UFC was doing at that point in time when people pulled out being sick. They were rescheduling it for 2 weeks or a month down the line. But that didn't happen with this fight, and it really disappointed me. Next thing we know, the UFC was announcing that Volkanovski and Ortega would be the Ultimate Fighters coaches. I didn't personally watch this season. I was going to try to, but I just haven't had a chance yet. I may try to before the fight happens. I don't know. Let me know if you have. I'm curious, is it good or not? I haven't watched The Ultimate Fighter in forever. But the reason I was super disappointed that they were coaches for The Ultimate Fighter is because I knew it was going to push the fight down the line so far. And look, now it's not going to happen until September 25th. I know we're closer to it now, but at the time in March, it was super disappointing. I'll never forget, and I'm getting a little off topic here, but when Anthony Pettis was supposed to defend his lightweight title against Gilbert Melendez, they announced them as the Ultimate Fighter coaches in like spring or summer, and they didn't end up fighting till December, which was super disappointing, killed everything, took forever to get here. And I felt like the same thing about this fight. Obviously, it's a little bit different now because we're closer to it. It's about 2 months away at this point in time. But back in March, this was really disappointing. But now, we have the main event for UFC 266, only 2 pay-per-views away. I'm super excited. A lot of people, think Alexander Volkanovski is the illegitimate featherweight champion. They think he lost to Max Holloway in the second fight specifically. Some even thought he lost the first fight. I thought the first fight, Volkanovski clearly won that fight. Second fight was closer, but I had Volkanovski winning. But a lot of people disagree with me. So anyway, we're going to finally get that September 25th. But also we're going to get a second title fight, the co-main event. And this is the fight that I'm not super excited for at all. It is what it is. And that will be Valentina Shevchenko defending her flyweight women's championship against Lauren Murphy. This is a fight we knew was going to happen, but it's not a fight that I was overall, jumping for joy with. I mean, it's not going to be competitive in my opinion. If you guys think Lauren Murphy stands a chance against Valentina Shevchenko, please comment down below and let me know why. I would love to be excited for this fight, but I just can't. It's not going to be competitive. But I do love seeing Valentina Shevchenko fight. So that is a plus. But if you look at Lauren Murphy's record, I mean, she's fought pretty much nobody. Her last fight was against Joanne Calderwood, and it was a split decision. A lot of people even thought that Calderwood got robbed. And it's just, to get a title shot over Joanne Calderwood, I know some people think she's some great fighter, and maybe she is a good fighter, but she's nowhere near, neither one of those girls are nowhere near Valentina Shevchenko's level. And, we also have at UFC 265 in August, we have Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena. And I'm more excited for that fight than I am for Shevchenko versus Murphy. But to me, the only fight to make, after their most recent fights, was give me Amanda Nunes versus Valentina Shevchenko 3. That's the women's fight I wanted to see. Flyweight women's champion versus bantamweight and featherweight women's champion. It's a fight that I wanted to see, but instead we're getting Shevchenko versus Murphy in the co-main event. It is what it is. I'm not super excited for it. Also, I've already done 2 videos on it, so I'm not going to talk about it too much here. But you have Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler in a 5-round fight. Should be exciting, but again, neither guy, it's hard to gauge where they're at. They've been out for so long. So who even knows what's going to happen in that fight? I think the real selling point of UFC 266 is Volkanovski versus Ortega. I'm so excited for that fight. Ortega, after he lost to Max Holloway in his title shot, he took like almost 2 years off. That was a brutal beating. I'm glad he took that time off. And he came back substantially better. He returned against the Korean Zombie last year, and he put on a masterful performance against the Korean Zombie. His striking looked better. He outstruck the Korean Zombie, which I don't think anybody anticipated. And he earned himself a title shot. A lot of people were saying, give Max Holloway a third fight, but you can't lose 2 title fights, even if they're close, and get a third title fight without fighting in between there. But Brian Ortega, I'm getting a little bit off topic again, but Brian Ortega gives Max Holloway, fresh life. Because if Brian Ortega can beat Alexander Volkanovski, you can bet Max Holloway's getting a title shot if he wins one more fight, or even possibly without even winning another fight. It would be Brian Ortega, Max Holloway too. This time Brian Ortega will be the champion. Would be crazy. But who knows? I think that fight is a very intriguing matchup. From what I've seen online, a lot of people are 50-50 on that fight. I'm personally, right now, I'm leaning Volkanovski, but I'm not 100% sure who I'm picking by any means. I think Volkanovski is probably the better striker, but I don't know because Ortega looks so good in his most recent fight. So it's really hard to guess on that one. As far as the wrestling, I think Volkanovski's the better wrestler and has the greater takedown threat. But I don't know if he's even going to try to take Ortega down. Ortega has lightning fast submissions. He's got such great jiu-jitsu. He's so good off his back. I don't even think Volkanovski's going to attempt that. But let me know what you guys think of UFC 266. I think the main event's super intriguing. It's the fight that I'm most looking forward to. I'm not too hot on the co-main event, and I'm a little bit excited for Lawler versus Diaz too, 17 years apart. Let me know in the comments what you think. Please like the video. Please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.